So today we're talking about push-pull guns on the ProPulse 300. We have a set of drive rolls in here, all 4 geared. You have to take the smooth idlers out. Your pressure is a little bit too high here. You want to be just about at 1. The way how this is laid out here, this is most likely going to be a non-functional setup. See, the problem is when your workbench over there is about 5 feet away from machine here, a 25-foot push-pull gun can be a little bit cumbersome. So let's lay this out the way it's supposed to be and look at the layout again. So something like this is more like it. Have a large loop, no sharp S-bends, no tight loops in there. Push-pull guns can be nice when you work on boats, when you really need the reach, when you work inside tanker trucks. But push-pull guns can be a pain if you work in tight quarters and do benchtop work. Although, while not in use, this is probably an adequate way to store your push-pull gun. What happens now is people think of it like a garden hose. There is a temptation that you just take 1 or 2 coils off of here, then you start going to your bench and you start welding. The problem with that is, in case you forgot, this is a push-pull gun. Here is your pull feeder. There is very soft aluminum wire going through all of those. This is a definite no-go. You cannot treat it like a garden hose and have it like this. You need to really, every time you use this, you need to unroll all 6 feet of cable, lay it in a large loop, get all these little twists and coils out of there, like such. All right, so much for the proper setup of it. Then this one is a push-pull gun. We have our potentiometer built in for remote control, which adjusts synergically our wire feed and the voltage. This is the curved neck. You can loosen this up and swivel this around 360 degrees. You need to make sure that your push feeder and your pull feeder both have a tension adjustment here. Your tension needs to be adjusted right, so you don't choke it out, but it still feeds the wire. So in order to set the tension here, you have to screw this rod in or out, which then puts more or less tension on the drive mechanism. See how fast it spins now?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to spin that fast, but it has to spin fast like this. And when you go too tight, then it's not. That's probably good. Too loose, it's not feeding enough. Too tight, it's clamping and choking down and makes the motor on the inside work overtime. So we're in the 53-56 program, 3/64th diameter. Our start speed is at 35%. Burn back and pinch are set accordingly. Pre-flow, post-flow. We are in the single pulse program, so double pulse is turned off. There is a standard double pulse and a manual adjustable double pulse. Our water cooler is on. This is a water-cooled push-pull gun. Spool gun off. And then we have our maximum set on the panel for the maximum of the program. The potentiometer on the gun will take over and allow me to dial it down to 157 inches per minute. Our arc length, we'll have to see if we have to make some adjustment if we like our arc length or not. So as you have seen, the push-pull gun will work, and it will actually produce some decent welds, like this one, or like that one. So we are welding on 1/4 inch material here, just getting it dialed in. The problem is, if you have problems dialing stuff in, if you don't have the wire tension set right on one of the feeders, or your gas flow is inconsistent, or you started with a push-pull gun that was full of air before the shielding gas was there, then those are the results that you are expecting. If you buy a push-pull gun just because somebody told you, well, if you want to MIG weld aluminum, you need a spool gun, and the push-pull gun is the holy grail of things, and a push-pull gun is where it's at, and you need a push-pull gun, then you may want to double check your facts. So a push-pull gun is great if you really need the reach. If you're a trailer manufacturer, a boats manufacturer, you need extreme reach, then a push-pull gun can be really nice. If you do benchtop work like this or similar to this, anything where the machine is close, where your machine is close to you and where you don't want to lug the extra weight around, then there's two different styles of push-pull guns. We sell a pistol grip style push-pull gun with a curved neck which can swivel 360 around, or a straight neck. Other guys, you cannot really reclock your neck. Before you reclock your neck, make sure though, don't loosen this up here to reclock the neck when your water cooler is running. You're gonna have water or coolant everywhere. Just loosen it up a little bit, turn it, snug it up without the water cooler running. The pistol grip push-pull gun is nice. It comes in nice ergonomic for me. I have my amperage control, setting control, whatever you want to call it, right here. Wire feed speed and voltage 2-in-1, which results in amperage. And I can weld with it. Still, it's heavy. Putting it over your shoulder takes some weight off of you. If I would weld all day with this, especially benchtop, I would probably hate it. I would want to have a regular gun. If you have the swan neck style guns, like some other guys have, that looks something like this. You have a bunch of individual cables that are all held together by a sleeve, and then you have like a roller thing here which may adjust either your wire feed rate or wire feed rate and voltage. The problem here is everything is much smaller. Your rolls are smaller, your motor is smaller, it's in here. If you use something like this in a production environment, what happens is your motors typically burn out faster because it's a smaller motor that is always hot, nowhere to go with the heat. Where in a pistol grip style gun, you can fit a larger motor and better cooling in here rather than having like the swan neck style gun. And again, this still gets heavy. It feels like you're reaching around a spray can, rattle can size object to do this. And this is also gonna get heavy and old after a while. This is just an air-cooled version. They make water-cooled versions as well. So if you need a push-pull gun, you need a push-pull gun. There's no two ways around it. I would go water-cooled. It's easier on everything. It keeps things cooler. In this gun, the design, the water channels go all the way to the front, just under the tip holder, and it works awesome, even in high amperage applications.